Okay, so we're going to look at some things that you can modify your shapes over here in the tools area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and make a quick shape. Move this into place and hit the up arrow a couple times to add some more points or sides to this shape. And then I'm going to pick my color. And there you go. So over in here, there's this area here, width tool, warp tool, pucker, bloat tools. These things can do some pretty neat things for your shape. So I'm going to tear that off, move that over, and you can see that by pressing it, I can make, and it distorts the shape around the edge. If I double click this, you can see that I have access to intensity if I wanted to make that more intense. Let's just put this intensity up to 100. Go OK. Now you can see that the intensity of which it's putting its thing on the side here is much more. So double click that. I think the intensity is nice at the default of 50, but you can start adjusting a bunch of things in here, right? You can adjust increase the detail, for instance. And now you can see that it takes away the detail. I'm going to undo that, Control Z. Let's double click this. Let's put the detail all the way down to 1. And let's see what happens. And you can see that there's very little bit going on there. So the default was, I believe, 3. That seemed pretty good. I'm going to leave it there. And I encourage you to go and just experiment with some of these other shapes just to see where you can take things. It's easy in this area here to go too far. If I double click there, in this instance, I might take this intensity and make it a little bit less. And yeah, I like that intensity a bit better. And then the pucker is a popular one. Let's increase the intensity to 40. And then you can see that this area in here will allow you to justify and make interesting things to your shapes. Pucker, bloat, scallop, crystallize. You can play around with all these modifier tools for your shape. You can also go up here into Effect, and Distort and Transform also does some interesting things. And you can see there's a pucker and bloat option in here. So I'm going to click this pucker and bloat. Remember, you always have to click Preview to see what it's doing. And then you see just by jiggling that around, I can make some pretty interesting things. I'm going to go OK there. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm going to copy and paste, Control C, Control V. And then I'm going to go back up here into the Effect, Distort and Transform. And let's see what a twist does. Let's preview this. And you can toggle through different things and see what the twist does to change the shape up a little bit. Go OK. And I just encourage you to experiment and try different things. Let's go up into Effect, Distort and Transform one more time. I happen to know Zigzag does some pretty interesting things, so I'm going to hit Preview there. And let's see what Smooth does. No. Oh, it's frozen. Okay, so you want to be careful of what kind of zigzag you're putting on things. I'm going to cancel out of this because it's freezing things around. So this is not liking the zigzag. So this is actually frozen. It's probably too many anchor points and too much going on for the computer right now. So the zigzag was a bad option. Okay, so I'm back at it. I canceled out of the zigzag. Let's just, for testing purposes, move this off to the side. Let's make another shape here. Let's just make a simple star shape. Let's see what happens when I go up to Effect, Distort and Transform, and put the zigzag on that. Okay, so that there you go. That is having better results there. Okay, so this effect here, the zigzag, worked really well for the star shape. The zigzag did not work well when the shape was more complex. It froze the computer. So anyways, I encourage you to go into these modifying tools here for your shapes and go up, try transform and distort, and even stylize, and try different things and just get lost and play around.